Hello, my name is Fran Brown. Welcome to the Fran Brown Pilates method. Pilates is now a household name when it comes to exercise and is recommended and recognised by physios, osteopaths, chiropractors and many GPs as a great way of strengthening, toning, improving flexibility, improving core stability and correcting postural problems and preventing and alleviating back pain. In fact, most top sports professionals now include Pilates in their training programs. There are many types of Pilates classes and methods around. Some of the original Pilates exercises are not suitable for everybody, especially if you suffer with back, neck, knee or postural problems. The Fran Brown Pilates method has been developed by myself after suffering debilitating back pain years ago. I was introduced to the Pilates technique by my physio and found it so beneficial I decided to specialise and develop my own brand, which is safe, effective and can help and prevent and alleviate back pain. Thank you. Posture is very important. So let's start off looking down where our feet are. Our feet need to be hip distance apart. Feet facing forward, you don't want the feet turned out or in. And you need to have your knees slightly soft, never lock any joints. Knees slightly soft and more or less level with your middle toe, second or third toe. Moving upwards, we need to stand nice and tall, so lifting up through the rib cage. Draw the shoulders back and down, and we need to talk about stabilising the shoulder blades sitting down into your spine. Chin needs to be retracted rather than forwards. You need to bring that chin back in line. Looking ahead and lengthening up through the spine. Okay, that's just general postural techniques. We then need to look at the neutral spine position, which is key to all the exercises we do in Pilates. Neutral spine position is not just about this part of the spine, it's the whole body. We'll start off focusing on what we're doing with our middle part, thoracic spine, lumbar spine. So if I go sideways on, we bend our knees slightly. We tuck our hips under, you can all do this with me ladies, and then push out the other way. Somewhere in the middle, we find our neutral or natural spine position. And you can usually feel it, but you'll feel the abdominals pulling in a little bit. And what happens over time, if your back is too arched or too tucked under, you can get postural imbalances, and that's when injury does happen. So finding that neutral spine position is all important. When you've got it, your bottom muscles will start to be engaged a little bit, so you know it's there. Okay, so then we need to learn about the Pilates breathing, which is important, but as beginners, it's quite difficult to learn straight away. So I will go through it, but as the weeks go on, or as you practice more, it will become more natural. So the breathing is what we call thoracic breathing. So we're breathing in through the diaphragm or the lungs. So ladies, if you'd like to put your hands here, okay, on your rib cage. As we breathe in, we need to feel this part, the lungs or the diaphragm, widening as we breathe in. Try not to breathe in through the top of the chest, because that makes your shoulders hunch. So we're breathing in through the rib cage, wide and full. Breathing out, the rib cage is closing, and that's what we call thoracic breathing. Okay, on top of that, we then need to learn about pulling the abdominals in, and that's when we start to work the pelvic floor. So the Pilates this muscle, one of the main muscles we're working, is called the transversus abdominis, and it starts off in your pelvic floor, comes up and wraps all the way around you. So we can start to engage that by squeezing the pelvic floor muscles. When you do that, you'll find your ossif muscles engaging, and you'll find a little bit of muscle down here starting to pull in. Kick back, pulled in. Now you're going to do your thoracic breathing, so breathing in wide and full. Breathing out, closing the rib cage, and then from there to there, you're drawing the abdominals in, and then try and feel that connection through all the way to your lumbar spine, and that's how we get what we call core stability or core strength. Okay, so just to review how we should be standing, we've already gone over this. Knees over your middle toes, feet hip distance apart. Feet spread out on the floor. Neutral spine position, which we've already gone over. Pelvic floor, breathing in through the rib cage, breathing out, drawing the core muscles in. So that's standard. We're now going to do some warm-up exercises, loosening up the shoulders and some upper body isolations and neck exercises to get you loosened up, and also to get the shoulder blades moving. What I've found over many years I've been teaching, these days many people have very rounded shoulders with their head protruding, and it's because these muscles, shoulder blades, upper back muscles are not working, so these are very good for that. Okay, so get your normal posture position. Remember their isolation, so breathe in, breathe out, core muscles engaged, try and keep it pulled in, but just breathing in to start the exercise and breathing out. So here we go, breathing in and out. Relax the arms and just move the shoulder joint on its own. Small movement. And then we're going to make the circle a lot bigger. So breathing in, breathing out. Try and remember as you breathe out to draw those abdominals in. Relax the arms. Good. And every time you draw the abdominals in, that's when you're doing the hardest part of the exercise with the usual movement. That's excellent, ladies. Good. Breathing in and out. Now we're going to do one shoulder at a time. Okay, so one shoulder. Let's just do our right one. Just isolating forwards, up, back and down. And really start to feel the muscles just up in the upper back, underneath the shoulder blade. Good, and the other one. Breathing in and out. Getting the shoulder blade, shoulders working. And remember, of course, that chin is in that retracted position, spine in neutral, core muscles engaged. Okay, both together. Breathing in and out. Then we're going to take our hands onto our shoulders. Breathing in and out. Lifting up through the rib cage, making sure you're not losing your neutral spine position. Breathing in and out. Good. Now we're going to take it out, stretch the arms up and all the way back around. Again, when we get to this point, take care you're not losing your neutral spine position. Just one other key point here, ladies, as we're stretching the arms up, try not to start the movement from the shoulder joint. It's the shoulder blade, so relax the arms. Stretch up through the shoulder blades and then take the arms all the way back round. Good. Breathing in, breathing out. Good. And keep your hands down by your side. And loosening up again the shoulders. Neutral spine position, core muscles engaged. Shrug the shoulders as you breathe in. Breathe out, relax the shoulders down. Breathing in and out. Keep that chin back so the neck's nice and relaxed. Breathing in and out, and then we're going to do one after the other. Again, this is an isolation, so nothing else is moving, but I want to be aware of my upper back muscles here. Good, and relax. Now keep those shoulders down, and we're now going to do something to loosen up the head and the neck. So breathing in, breathing out, bring the chin very slightly forwards. Breathing out, draw that chin back. Try and feel the back of the neck relaxing again. Remember to keep the neutral spine position. Breathing in and breathing out. And more important, shoulder blades back and down, chest lifted. Breathing in and out. Now lift the chin very slightly. Breathe in, breathe out, and bring the head forwards. I'm not bringing my body forwards, just my head. Chin to the chest. Good. Breathing in, lift the chin very slightly. Good. Breathing out, chin to the chest. I'm in neutral, remember. and draw those abdominals in. Excellent. Head back to the centre. Breathing in, breathing out, looking over the shoulder. Breathing in, breathing out, bringing the head forwards, chin to the chest. Up to the other side, looking over the shoulder, breathing in, breathing out, rolling down. And again, nice and slowly. Good. Head back to the centre. Take the hand behind the head, so just going to do a nice neck stretch. Chin back, breathing in, breathing out, bring the head forwards, chin to the chest. And slowly coming up. Good, so let's do our rib cage isolations next. So it's important, our rib cage is connected to our shoulder girdle, and it's good for a healthy back to be able to isolate this, to free it up. So I want you to take your arms out to the side. Again, if you suffer with your lower back, you may want to take the legs a little bit wider, knees a little bit more bent, tucking under a little bit more if it's comfortable for you. Arms need to be slightly behind you. Again, no tension in the top of the shoulders, so relax there. Chin in that retracted position. Breathe in, breathe out, core muscles engaged, and then just breathe normally, naturally throughout this exercise. So isolating side to side. Good. Some of you might find this quite difficult to start off with. Especially some of my male clients do find this movement a little bit difficult. And that's it, lovely. Try and relax the shoulders there, Anna. That's lovely. Good, excellent. And if you feel you've warmed up a little bit, you can just stretch a little bit more now. Reaching a little bit more. Excellent. Stretching, stretching. All those postural points. Remember, the pelvis needs to be in alignment as well. Good. And relax. Okay, we're going to do some leg stretches now. Again, your alignment is important here with your leg stretches. So we're going to take the legs a little bit wider. I want your feet, knees, hips and shoulders facing front. We're going to bend one knee, straighten the other. The legs are as wide as they need to be so you can feel a stretch in the inner thigh here. And we need to make sure the knee is over the middle toe but doesn't go further forwards than. Okay, so what you might need to do here is take the hips slightly further back. And that's where we need to make sure that we keep our 3 points of connection through our spine. So it's head, shoulders, buttocks, natural, neutral spine alignment as we've been through before. But try not to let this happen, okay, when you're doing these stretches, because if you keep the shoulder blades back and down, chin back, that also supports your lumbar spine, supports your lower back. Okay, so we're just going to breathe in, come back to the centre, breathe out and change sides. And again, legs wide enough so you can feel that stretch in the inner thigh. Breathing in, breathing out. So abdominals in. Every time we breathe out, remember, breathe in, breathe out, engage your core. Shoulder blades back and down, chin in the right position. Breathing in and out. Good, we're going to hold it there. If you feel you can stretch a little bit more, take the leg a little bit wider, take a deep breath in, breathe out and then stretch a little bit more. Taking the hips back a little bit if you need to, but making sure you've got your neutral spine, your 3 points of connection there. Bring the foot back in, we're going to swap sides. Good, take it a little bit wider, breathe in, breathe out. Good, and relax. Okay, so that's the inner thighs. We're going to stretch the front of the thighs now. We have two options for this. If you're able to, you're going to grab one of your foot, your ankle, into this position, or even your trouser leg. So just like to do that. Emily is going to demonstrate the other version with me. Make sure the leg you're standing on is slightly bent. If this is very uncomfortable for you, we can do our lunge one. So we can take a step forward, lunge, tip the pelvis up like the others are doing, still tipping the hips up, but you're getting that same stretch there. Can you feel that, Anna? There? Good, so breathe in, breathe out, tip the hips under, whichever one you're doing. And if you're in this position, try and bring the heel. What we're aiming for is the heel touching your backside eventually. Not necessarily going to get that straight away. Still think about your posture here. Good, and relax. So do that on the other side, whichever version you're doing. So grab your foot, your ankle, trouser leg, whatever you can manage. The leg you're standing on is slightly bent. Good, breathe in. Breathe out, bring the knee back. Tip the pelvis under and bring the heel towards the hip. We're doing this version, same thing. Tip the pelvis under. Good, whatever feels comfortable for you. That's important. Okay, and relax. Okay, now we're going to do back of the leg exercise, okay, a stretch rather. So I'm going to take one leg out in front. I'll do it this way around first of all. The other leg up a little bit behind you, feet facing forwards. Again, 3 points of connection in the spine. And just sit back a little bit so you can feel a stretch in the back of the leg. In there, again, watching the knee alignment here. Make sure the knee's not rolling in. Good, again, if this is uncomfortable, your back, you can do this one standing. Anna, perhaps you'd like to just show us this one. Good, and just turning the foot up that way. Good, you're still getting that stretch in the back of the leg. Okay, so whichever one's comfortable for you. Point the toe and flex the foot. Breathing in and out. Shoulder blades back and down, that neutral spine position. Breathing in and out. And then just holding it there a little bit longer. Good, and then we'll do it on the other side. So again, if it's uncomfortable, you can remain standing and just do this in a standing position. Okay, so sit back, point the toe towards the floor, stretch the foot back, so you feel a stretch all the way up there. Again, breathing in, point the toe, breathing out, flex the foot. One more time. Good. And relax, and that's the end of the stretches. So we're going to work on shoulder blade stabilisation and our upper body posture now. Same position, just double checking. Feet hip distance apart, knees over your middle toes, neutral spine position. Chin retracted, lifting up through the chest, shoulder blades back and down. So we're going to start off with the arms in this position. This is called arms opening, or sometimes it's called a dumb waiter. So you're imagining you've got a tray in front of you, but you've actually got nothing on it. Okay, so you're going to engage your pelvic floor as usual, breathing in, breathing out, draw the abdominals in, try and move the shoulders back on their own first, and then open the arms as far as your body will allow, making sure you're not losing that connection there, you're not losing the neutral spine position, but lifting the chest, drawing the shoulder blades back and down, and coming back to the centre. So breathing in, breathing out, opening. Excellent. And again, hands to the centre. Remember, pelvic floor, breathing in, breathing out, engage the core. Shoulders first, and then opening. Draw the abdominals in. Good, and you should feel all the muscles in the back working here as well. Breathing in, breathing out, shoulder blades stabilising. Again, try not to hunch the shoulders. Keep the chin back in that retracted position. Good. Smiling neutral, so you should feel the bicep muscles working a little bit there. Breathing in, breathing out, opening. Good, and relax. So this exercise is a great one to do if you sit at a computer a lot, or you're driving a lot, you're in this position a lot. Just do a few of these, and it really opens up the chest, gets the shoulder base sitting back into the correct position again. So that's really good. Okay, now we're going to do our chicken wing exercise. So again, it works on shoulder blade stabilisation as well, and also flexibility through the shoulder joints. So we're going to start off in this position. Our elbows are level with our shoulders. Okay, I'm going to demonstrate it over the side here. So you can see side view. Just making sure you're not in this position here. So again, lift up through the chest, shoulder blades back and down, and take the arms starting off level with your shoulders. Breathing in, breathing out, abdominals in as usual, and draw the arms back. But make sure, again, you're not losing the neutral spine position. Have a look at one of your arms, and what we're trying to do is to stabilise the shoulder blades. So if you move the elbows forwards, further forwards than your fingers, lift your chest, you should feel your shoulder blades moving. Good. From there, breathe in again. Breathe out, draw the abdominals in. Lead with the elbows, bring them into the waist. Try and pull the tummy in as well. You can actually work all the core muscles with this exercise. Good. And back to the top. Chin retracted. Breathing in, breathing out. Arms back, abdominals in, elbows forward. Breathe in, breathe out into the waist. Good. And what you can do, you can then combine that exercise. Breathing in, breathing out, with the arms opening. Great for your upper body posture. Good. And relax. We're going to finish off with our stretches. So I want you to take the arms out in front of you in this position. Breathing in, breathing out again. Core muscles engaged. Stretch the arms forward. Open the shoulder blades. Try not to lean the body forwards. Okay, so we're really feeling that stretch through there. Reaching up now. Again, remember what I said before about stretching up from the shoulder blades, not the shoulders. Breathing in, breathing up, lifting up out of your waist, stretching over so you're feeling stretch from here through the rib cage. Relax the head and coming up. Breathing in, breathing out. Good. And remember what we're trying to do here also, shoulder blade stabilisation, upper body posture. So if possible, we want the elbows level with the ears. So you may have to bend them a little bit to achieve that, but that's fine. Top arm a little bit straighter than the bottom arm. Breathing in, breathing out. Good, and bring the arms back down. We're now going to do a very deep stretch for the arms and shoulders. Some people may find this a little bit tricky to start off with. So Nikki and Anna are going to demonstrate a slightly less strong version, if you like, of this exercise. So if you'd like to show the shoulder stretch, go breathing in, breathing out. Cross it, hold it for a few seconds, and a little bit more. We're going to do the deeper version. So arms out in front. This is what we're aiming for eventually. Okay, right arm over left. You're trying to lock the elbows. Touching wherever you can. Finger, hands, elbows level with the shoulders. Breathing in, breathing out. Push the elbows away round your upper back. Hold it there. Breathing in, breathing out. And just try and take the hands a little bit further forwards without lowering the elbows. Good. And that's a very deep stretch for the upper back and shoulders. And we'll just do the other side now. Okay, so this time left over right. Breathing in, breathing out. Elbows out round your upper back without leaning forwards. Then breathe in, breathe out without lowering the elbows. Try and extend the hands a little bit further forwards. Good, and relax. Then take the arms behind you. Again, try not to hunch the shoulders. Shoulders down, breathe in, breathe out, abdominals in, and stretch the arms up. As far as it's comfortable for you, you're feeling a really good stretch in the shoulder joint. Relax, breathing in, breathing out one more time, stretching up, and relax. That's the end of that exercise. Right, I'm finding a lot at the moment as well. A lot of clients come to me with knee pain, or they find that the knees are rolling and they're not in the correct alignment. Of course, that can affect your pelvis, it can affect your lower back, and again lead to all sorts of pain, misalignment. So this is a very simple exercise to do, and doing it standing as well, because remember, a lot of the day we're not actually lying on the mat, we're actually standing or sitting, so it's a great exercise to do for your correct knee alignment. And it's the buttock muscles here that determine the knee alignment. You might not think that it's important for that, but it is. So we'll just do a little experiment to start off with. So forget about your Pilates pulling in, and just let your knees relax forward. That's it. And you probably find they sort of start to roll in a little bit. Okay, not in that correct alignment we were talking about. But let's revisit that with our Pilates technique and really squeezing the gluteal muscles. So pelvic floor, breathe in, breathe out, abdominals in. Now really squeeze the buttock muscles, and then just do a very, very mini squat, mini knee bend. And then if you look down, you should find the knees are in the correct alignment. Yeah? So that's excellent. That's a good exercise to do. Any of these exercises, when you're doing them at home, 8 to 10 repetitions. Now moving on from that, again, Don't try this if you have a lower back problem, but we can actually start to go into a more of a squat position, if you like. And two of my ladies are going to demonstrate the squat position, Nikki and Christina, and the other two are just going to continue with our knee bends. You go down a little bit more if you want to. Okay, so here we go. Pelvic floor, breathing in, breathing out. Abdominals, bicep muscles, mini knee bends, or if we want to, into a more of a squat position. It's almost like you're sitting down on a chair behind you, and then breathe in, breathe out, engage the core, squeeze the bicep muscles as you come back up. Excellent. Breathing in, breathing out buttocks, bending the knees, whichever version you're doing. Excellent. Never take your hips down lower than your knees, very bad for you. That's excellent. Good alignment, remember. I said about 3 points of connection before. So here, 1, 2, 3, that's excellent. We've got that 3 points of connection now. The shoulder blades are engaged. That's it. Good. Okay. Now relax. That's the end of that exercise. Alright, we're going to walk our hands forward. So we've got our wrists underneath our shoulders, knees underneath our hips. We're just going to do a deeper stretch for the back of the legs. So toes on the floor. Lift your hips up, lift the knees up, stretch back away from your hands. Now again, shoulder blades back and down, abdominals in, and just feel the heels stretching towards the floor. And then bend and straighten. Alternate knees, breathing in, breathing out into the stretch. Holding it for a few seconds before changing sides. It's a great stretch. The backs of the legs, your upper back as well. Keep the chin tucked in, shoulder blades back and down. Good, and then just coming back down on all fours. Back into this position. And for my beginners, we need to start very gradually building up our upper body strength. So this exercise is sort of an introduction to some other exercises that we do later on in the course, if you like. So we're just starting off in this position, have the toes on the floor, and we're going to breathe in, breathe out, abdominals in, and just lift your knees off the floor, just a little bit, so you're taking the weight through the arms, and then relax. Okay, so you can do that a couple of times. Good, keeping your elbows slightly soft. Good, and you just gradually, just to start off exercise to build up your upper body strength. Excellent. Okay, now we're going to go into one of the very well-known Pilates exercises, which is called the Superman. And we're starting to learn how to balance here as well. Now, some of my clients are not able to do this exercise. Maybe they've had a knee operation, maybe their wrists are very weak, or have an operation on the wrist, they can't do it. So Anna's going to demonstrate the other version, which you can do lying on your tummy. Okay, it's a very similar exercise, opposite arm and leg stretching, but it's a more comfortable position for some of the clients. Okay, so we're starting off again, neutral spine position. So make sure the back isn't too arched, not too tucked under, and your chin is in a retracted position as well. So just let's engage the core first, pelvic floor, breathing in, breathing out, abdominals in. Now the key to this exercise, if you imagine you've got a tray of glasses on your back, you're going to move the arm and leg, and hopefully the glasses are not going to fall off. That means you're keeping your back absolutely still. Okay, so let's start off. Pelvic floor, breathing in, breathing out. Start to slide the leg away and the hand away. Nice and slowly. Remember what I said before about when you lift the arm, it's from the shoulder blade. We're trying to end up with the body in a straight line. Squeeze the bicep muscle, but you've got the abdominals drawn in. And then back down again. We're trying to keep the pelvis level, shoulders level. Let's do that again on the other side. Pelvic floor. Breathing in, breathing out nice and slowly. Keep the hand and foot in touch with the floor as long as possible. And then lift, holding it there. Squeeze the bicep muscle, stretch the leg. You can point the toe and flex the foot if you want to. And bring the leg back down. Okay, so ladies, if you'd like to do that in your own time, And then I'm just going to come around and check everyone, and I'm going to show you the other version that Anna's doing. Good, that's excellent. One key thing here, a lot of the ladies don't realise when they're doing this that they're lifting the hip. The pelvis needs to stay level. That's excellent. And the shoulder blade needs to stay down. So in this version, it's exactly the same thing. Pelvic floor, breathing in, breathing out. Draw those abdominals in, opposite arm and opposite leg. Squeeze that muscle, stretch. You can keep the arm and leg on the floor to start off with. Then when you feel more comfortable, you can just bring it off slightly. Again, you're doing the same thing, but we're protecting your knees there, not hurting the elbows too much. That's it. Good. Again, maybe 8 to 10 of these exercises to do if you're doing them at home. Okay, and relax. Just sit back on your heels. Coming back up. I'm just going to finish off with the wrist stretch. If you're not comfortable sitting in this position, you can just do this standing or sitting on a chair. As you said, as I said, if you sit at a computer a lot, very good exercise to do if you use the mouse a lot. A lot of people seem to be getting problems with their wrists, carpal tunnel as well. Very weak wrists, I'm finding. So take the arms up. It's a great stretch for the wrists. Take your right hand over your left wrist, just the top of it, very gently stretch it away from you, and then turn the hand underneath. So we're using a flat hand onto the top. Breathe in. Breathe out and gently stretch it back. Good. And you're going to turn the hand over the other way. Turn it underneath you. Again, flat hand on the top. Try and include the thumb in with this. Try not to hunch the shoulders. Think about upper body posture here. Breathing in, breathing out and stretching back. Good. And we'll do that on the other side. So right arm out. Flat hand. Very gently breathe in, breathe out. Gently stretch. Turn the hand underneath. Flat hand, and then the other way around, palm facing the ceiling. Try and include the thumb in with that, breathing in, breathing out, stretching. Good, and relax. So just to finish off from our Superman exercise, we're going to do our cat stretch. So again, you do any of the exercises where you're lying on your front, we always finish off with our cat stretch. So pelvic floor, breathing in, breathing out. Tuck the chin under, opening the shoulder blades, hollow out the tummy, let the hips curl under a little bit, and then come back to neutral. Remember, we come back to neutral, so we don't lift the chin, and we don't arch the lower back. Breathing in, breathing out. Tuck the chin under, rounding the shoulders. Good. Back to neutral, then we're going to sit back on our heels, arms out in front. Relax the head, neck and shoulders, relaxing the back, and take some deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Again, it's a nice lower back stretch. You can always bring the hands down by the side of you if you want to into a child's pose position. Again, a really good stretch for the lower back. Take a deep breath in and out. A few more, deep breath in and out, and try and feel the body relaxing. Okay, thank you. Ladies, you come back up, and that's the end of that exercise. This is called the roll down. Now again, for beginners, we have to be very, very careful with this exercise. If you have any lower back problems, we have to go very, very slowly with this. So as a preparation for this exercise, we're going to start off with the hands underneath the thighs. Okay, and this gives us a little bit of support here. Make sure the feet, knees, hips and shoulders are in line. Make sure the knees don't roll in, and you're not hunching here. Okay, so shoulders relaxed, chin back as usual. So you don't want to start off in this position. Draw the pelvic floor muscles in, breathing in, breathing out. Draw the abdominals in. Now tip the hips up, opening up the spine. It's almost as if someone's pushing you there, punching you in the stomach. You'd roll down a little bit. Again, no hunching, chin back. Breathe in, breathe out, abdominals in, and slowly come back up. So we're building up abdominal strength. We're also working on flexibility of our spine. Let's do that one more time. Pelvic floor, breathing in, breathing out, abdominals, tip the hips under, rolling back as far as it's comfortable for you. Again, if your back doesn't like this exercise, then don't do it. Breathing in, breathing out, coming back up. And when you feel comfortable with that, your lower back feels comfortable, you've built up enough strength, you can do it without holding on. Anna's going to continue doing the beginner's one, or no, actually Anna's going to use the band, okay, because using the exercise band can give you the support you need to get down a bit lower without straining your back. Okay, so Anna's going to demonstrate that one, which is great for beginners. I'll continue to do a beginner version I'm holding on here, and the other ladies are going to go down a little bit further. Again, you can use a ball here, if you'd like to get the ball. You can use this, gives it a little bit of resistance, but also it helps you come up and go down as well. So you can use that if you want to, either in between the knees, a little bit more working on the abdominal area, inner thighs, or you can use it here, again, abdominals or upper body. Personally, I find it does help with the movement, but it's up to you. Okay, so different versions. I'm going to do the beginner one, keeping my hands here, pelvic floor, breathing in, breathing out. Abdominals in, tip the pelvis under, and rolling back as far as it's comfortable for you. Breathing in, breathing out, abdominals in, and slowly come back up. Okay, again, breathing in, breathing out. And make sure your knees don't roll in. That's it, good. Adding your resistance in. If you're using a ball, heel of the hand on the ball, this part, not the fingers. That's it, breathing in, breathing out. Good, and gradually over the weeks you build up a bit more strength. You might be able to get all the way down. Christina, maybe do that. You're going to show this one for us. Get all the way down. Good. And slowly coming up. Good. With control. That's it. No jerky action. That's it. Breathing in, breathing out, rolling down again. Just be careful with this one. Until you feel strong enough, do keep the hands on the back of the legs. Good. And you can also use this if you're using the band. It's a great way to work the back, front of the arms there, the biceps. You can do a bicep curl with that. Okay. That's the end of that exercise. Thank you. We're now going to demonstrate our leg slide exercise, one of the basic Pilates exercises. We're going to do just 1 or 2 levels today. If you're going down from a seated position, make sure your knees are bent, and your hands are on the floor to support you as you go down. Okay, so we want our feet hip distance apart, feet, knees, hips and shoulders in line. And you need that retracted chin position. The correct position for your head, if you make a fist, you can all do this, ladies, place it underneath your chin. Okay, there should be no gaps there between your chin and your chest. If you do find there is a bit of a gap there, sometimes that's caused by the upper back is too rounded or neck problems, then we need to put something at the back of the head, like a rolled up towel, a cushion, or one of these balls, which I'm going to put at the back of my head now. I find it quite comfortable as well. And that can help you get the shoulder blades back down into the floor. Okay, so first of all, we need to check we've got our neutral spine position. We've practiced this standing up, now we need to make sure we've got it in this position here. So take your fingers, slide them underneath the small of your back. Okay, if the fingers go all the way under, your back's too arched. If they don't go under at all, your back is too flat. So find that position there where you can feel your neutral spine. The other way of checking it is to place the hands on your tummy. So the heel of the hand is on your pelvic bone, the fingers on the pubic bone. And again, your hand should be level, should be flat. If you find the fingers are a lot higher than the heel of the hand, you're too flat. And of course, the other way, again, if the heel of the hand is a lot higher, you're too arched. Obviously, this does vary from person to person. So you need to find your neutral spine position. And the exercise that we're doing now, it requires you to keep the spine in that neutral position. So take the hands down by your sides. We're first of all just going to do the legs only. Okay, so remember the breathing, pulling up the abdominals is the same. Start off by drawing the pelvic floor muscles in, breathing in through your rib cage, breathing out, drawing the abdominals in, and then we're going to slide our left leg away from us, keeping the heel on the floor, and making sure the back doesn't arch. If you find you get to a point where the back's arching, Then don't take the leg any further. If you can take it all the way down, take it down, point the toe and flex the foot. Good, and breathe in as you bring the leg back. We'll do that with the other side, so pelvic floor, breathing in, breathing out, draw the abdominals in, keeping the pelvis level, spine neutral, slide your right leg away, point the toe, flex the foot. At this stage, you may want to take more breaths in and out, okay, until you get used to the breathing. Breathing in, breathing out. Left leg, stretching it out, point the toe, flex the foot. Come back, again, you find your hips are moving, the pelvis is moving, or your back's arching. Breathing in, breathing out, other leg. Just take the leg, like I'm doing now, just to the point where you've still got control there. Good, and relax. Okay, now we're going to do the arms on their own. So keep the arms down by the side. Chin in the right position, neutral spine, pelvic floor. Breathing in, breathing out. You're going to raise the arm. Remember, the arm raises up from the shoulder blade. Try not to lift the shoulder as you bring the arm back. So it's almost like the movement starts from the wrist. Keep the shoulder blade pressed into the floor. And slide the arm back as far as you'll allow it. You might have to bend the elbow to get the arm back down onto the floor. That's fine. And then breathing in as you come back. Do that again. Pelvic floor, breathing in, breathing out. Abdominals in. Other arm. Keep the shoulder blade pressed into the floor. Keep the chin tucked in. And you may have to bend the elbow, that's fine. Or it might be that your arm doesn't get down on the floor yet. That doesn't matter either. Good. And then bringing the arm back. Okay, so we're now going to combine that together. When you feel comfortable with those two elements, we're going to do the opposite arm and opposite leg at the same time. So pelvic floor, breathing in, breathing out. Draw the abdominals in, slide opposite arm and opposite leg away from you, keeping your chin tucked in, making sure your spine stays in neutral. Point the toe, flex the foot, and then bring the leg back. And again, pelvic floor, breathing in, breathing out. Remember that you can take more breaths in and out at this stage. If you haven't quite got breathing yet, it does take a while to learn breathing, so don't worry too much about breathing, but do remember to draw those abdominals in. That's the most important thing. Again, keeping the pelvis level, keeping the spine in neutral. Okay, so you're working your tummy, you're working your shoulders, you're working your legs. And with Pilates, it's muscle strengthening, but we're lengthening at the same time, not building bulk. And we're working on what we call our core stability, core strength. The muscle we work in Pilates, the transversus abdominis, remember it connects through to your lumbar spine. So we're connecting this muscle, getting that working. Good, okay, and relax. And from there, we're just going to do one other option, which is a little bit more challenging on this. So if you're comfortable with that element so far, just going to bring one knee up and down into the tabletop, but with the breathing. So pelvic floor, breathing in, breathing out. I want you to squeeze the bottom muscle just a little bit. One of your legs, doesn't matter which one. And then bring your knee up into your tabletop position. Hold it there, breathing in, breathing out. Abdominals, bottom muscle just a little bit working there, and bring that leg back down, keeping the spine in neutral. Good. Other leg, breathing in, breathing out. Abdominals, also bring the leg out. This is your tabletop position, with your knee just above your hip, foot level with your knee. Breathing in, breathing out, and lowering. One more time. Breathing in, breathing out. Abdominals, bring the leg up to tabletop. So you're challenging your core more, you're working your tummy more, trying to keep the neutral spine position. Good, back down again. Good, and relax. Good, and that's the end of that exercise. Thank you. Good, so we're going to demonstrate our shoulder bridge exercise now. Again, one of our key Pilates exercises. Although a lot of people with back problems initially may have a bit of pain when they're doing this exercise, in which case they need to keep the movement very, very small. So keep the hands on the floor by the side of you. Again, that supports you to start off with. Feet hip distance apart, knees, hips, shoulders in line, chin in the correct position. Draw the pelvic floor muscles in, breathe out, draw the abdominals in. Now start to squeeze the bottom muscles, And this time you're going to push your lower back into the floor and let the hips start to come off. Just a small way. Hold it there, breathe in, breathe out again, roll the spine back down. So at the moment I'm keeping the movement very, very small. I'm going to demonstrate it one more time with my arms across my chest here, so maybe you can see for the purposes of this video. Pelvic floor, breathing in, breathing out, abdominals in. Use the buttock muscles to lift the hips up very slightly. Push the back into the floor, coming up and then rolling back down. So once you've mastered that, if that feels comfortable, we can then take that shoulder bridge a little bit higher. Okay, so we're going to pelvic floor, breathe in, breathe out, abdominals in. Squeeze the buttock muscles, coming up a little bit higher. Try not to push up through the lower back. Push up through the hips, the front of the thigh. I want you to feel the stretch in the front of the thigh. So just about where your shoulder blades are, no higher than that. Breathe in, breathe out, and slowly roll the spine back down, vertebra by vertebra. Trying to get your lower back down into the floor. Again, initially it might go down straight. That often happens, but that's what we're trying to work towards with this exercise. More flexibility in the lower back, or the whole of the back actually. So let's do that again, and we're going to go a little bit higher. So if you feel ready, and you feel strong enough, you can then go a little bit higher. So pelvic floor, breathing in, breathing out. Tip the hips under, draw the abdominals, squeeze the bicep muscles, push up so you feel a stretch in the front of the thigh. All the way up. Don't go higher, don't make sure it's comfortable in the lower back. So we still want the spine in what we call the neutral position. Breathing in, breathing out, and slowly roll the spine back down, trying to get that lower back down. Good. Again, if you're happy with that and you want to work a little bit harder, we can then add the arms in at the end of the movement. So pelvic floor, breathing in, breathing out, buttocks, curling up, vertebra by vertebra. Good. And then take the arms above the head if you want to. Good. Bend the elbows a little bit. Try and get the arms onto the floor, shoulder blades pressed down, tuck the chin in, breathing out, slowly rolling the spine back down. Same thing, vertebra by vertebra, leaving the arms there if you can. All the way back down. Good, and bring the arms back down to the start position. We'll do a couple more of those. Christina, I think, and Jeanette are going to demonstrate with the ball how we can add a bit of resistance in here, if you want to. Great toning for the ladies. Okay, also, what we can do here, we can vary the position of our feet. If we draw our feet a bit closer towards us, we're going to be working the backs of the thighs and the buttocks a little bit more. But again, it's up to you. If you're already tight in the hamstrings, and I find that my male participants are often very tight in the hamstrings, you need to keep the feet further away from you. But it's up to you. You can work a little bit harder with this. And of course, adding the ball in here, we're going to be working your legs a little bit more in the thighs, back of the thighs. Pelvic floor, breathing in, breathing out, curling up. If you're using the ball, give it a squeeze. That's it. Adding your arms in when you're comfortable. Arms back. Press the shoulder blades into the floor. Breathing in, breathing out. Keep the arms there and then slowly roll back down vertebra by vertebra. Really feeling the spine stretching out. And when you've gone all the way back down, you can bring your arms back down. Good. Okay, you can take the ball away. Bring the knees into the chest, hands underneath the thighs. Take some deep breaths in and out, just to relax your back there. Okay, that's the end of that exercise. Thank you. Okay, we're going to do some lower body exercises now. Again, very important to keep the spine in neutral. Pelvis aligned as well, shoulder blades back and down. And we're going to start off with a side lying leg lift, giving you a couple of options there when you feel strong enough. So you want to be lying on your side, making sure you're resting your head on your arm, with your arm bent or straight, but not up in this position. That puts too much of strain on the neck. Okay, we want to stretch our legs out so the body is in a nice straight position. Making sure our shoulder blades are back and down, our spine is in neutral. If you just look downwards, you should be able to see your toes. Okay, if you can't, if they're too far behind you, you're not in line. So just make sure you can just about see the toes there, and hand on the floor to support you. Okay, to start off with, we're going to leave the bottom leg on the floor, and we're just going to be raising the top leg up and down. Okay. Again, if you find it still difficult to do this, you can bend the bottom leg as well. That'll help with the exercise. So pelvic floor, breathing in, breathing out. Draw the abdominals in, make sure your spine's in neutral. Stretch the top leg away from you as you lift. So you're drawing the abdominals in, and then breathing in as you bring it back down. Good, again, pelvic floor, breathing in, breathing out, abdominals. Lift the leg. Now I want you to try and feel the connection there, pelvis to lower back. So squeeze the buttock muscle a little bit when you're doing this. And make sure the hip doesn't lift. You don't have to lift the leg very high. It's all about building up muscle control here, pelvic stability. Again, breathing in, breathing out, lifting the leg. Now you can do a few of these with the toes pointed, and then you can flex the foot as well, alternating there, so you're stretching out the leg. You can take more breaths in and out if you want to. The most important thing is you breathe out, pull the tummy and engage the core as you lift the leg. Okay, take a little rest, ladies. If you find that's getting quite easy, okay, we can then lift both legs off the floor. Breathe in, breathe out, and do the same exercise from there, but you've got the bottom leg actually off the floor, so it's a little bit more challenging. Good, making sure for alignment. That's excellent, ladies. Pointing the toe, flexing the foot. It's a variation. Pulling the tummy in, squeezing the buttock muscle a little bit so you can feel that. Excellent. Good. And relax. Okay, we're going to bend that top leg now, rest it on the floor. And now we're going to work the inner thigh of the leg underneath. Okay? Now to do this, you need to activate this muscle yourself. So I want to squeeze that inner thigh muscle there. Try and feel it working on its own, using your own body weight to create the resistance. And from there, you're going to lift and lower the legs. So the breathing is the same. Breathing in to prepare. Breathe out abdominals. Squeeze the inner thigh and lift. Breathing in as you lower. Try not to rest it on the floor each time. You'll build up a little bit more resistance in the muscle. You can point the toe and flex the foot alternately for a bit of variation as well. That's it. Again, 8 to 10 of these is quite good, or again to a point where you feel your muscles fatiguing as well. That's really more of a better way to judge how many of these you should be doing. Good, and relax. Good, and obviously we'll roll over and do that on the other side. For the purpose of the video, we don't need to do that today. Okay? Okay, so we're finally going into our stretches and relaxation. If you feel you need to put something at the back of the head, you can do that like the ball, block or cushion. Just pop that there. Good. Hands down by your side. Again, think about your neutral spine position, shoulder blades resting to the floor. Just to relax the neck, we're going to take a deep breath in, breathing out, and just roll the head very slightly to the side, back to the centre, breathing in, breathing out, and the other side. A couple of those just to relax the neck. Good. Okay. So we're going to go into our leg stretches now. We're going to take our left leg up in the air. Again, this very much depends on your level of flexibility, how far or how straight the leg is, how far it stretches back. It's not a competition, it's about improving your own flexibility. So I want you to hold the back of the leg wherever it's comfortable. Draw the leg back. Make sure you're not lifting your back or your hips off the floor. Keep that into the floor. Stretch the leg up in the air and stretch it back until you feel a gentle stretch in the back of the thigh, and hold it there. Now, if you're able to, you can slide the other leg out along the floor. If you feel you're losing control of your core, your back's arching, then you need to keep that leg bent. It's up to you. Okay, now we're going to point the toes, both toes, the ones on the leg on the floor as well, leg on the floor. Point the toes, flex the feet. Good, and then just drawing that leg back a little bit more when you feel the body stretching out. Pointing and flexing. Good. Okay, this is your basic level of the stretch. If you feel you can stretch a little bit more, you want a bit more of a stretch here, we can walk the hands further up the leg. We could always tuck the chin in, bring the head off the floor, shoulders rounded if you want to. Pointing the toes and flexing the feet again, so you're getting a deeper stretch there in the back of the leg. If you can reach the end of the foot, hold it, stretch the toes back. If you can't reach, don't worry, just stretch the foot back anyway. Good, and we're going to roll back down. We're going to keep the leg in the air, in the bent position, like our tabletop position that we did. Take the right hand on the outside of your left thigh. Left arm is out along the floor, level with the shoulder. Make sure that shoulder blade stays pressed into the floor. Breathe in, breathe out. Now use the hand to bring the thigh across your body so you can feel a stretch in the buttock muscle, the outer thigh. Don't pull at the lower back. And take the head towards the outstretched arm as well if you want to, feeling that stretch there. Hold it for a few seconds, just breathe in normally. Good, and bring the leg back. Okay, bend the other knee, your right knee, and take your left foot on the top of the right knee. Turn the knee out to the side, so this is a hip stretch. Again, we need to keep the neutral spine position and pelvis level. Make sure the pelvis is level here. Breathe in, breathe out, turn the knee out to the side. Some people are very flexible in this area. You can see a couple of my ladies are doing the more advanced stretch. If you're not feeling much of the stretch here, you can hold the hand on the other, behind the right thigh, draw the leg in to give you more of a stretch there. Good, and relax. So we'll do that on the other leg. Take the right leg up in the air. Again, hold the back of the leg. Stretch the leg up first, draw it back, but make sure you're not pulling your back off the floor. Slide the other leg out if you're able to, making sure your lower back doesn't lift. Pointing and flexing the feet. Just loosening up the calves there. Drawing that leg back a little bit further if you can. Don't force anything. Make sure the spine stays in neutral. Curling up if you want to. This is a more advanced option. You don't have to do this. Pointing and flexing the feet. And if you can reach, hold the end of the foot. Stretch the toes back. If not, just stretch the toes back anyway. Good, roll back down, keep that knee bent. Get the left hand on the outside of your right thigh. Gently stretch the thigh across, feeling the stretch in the buttock muscle. Outer thigh, other arm out along the floor. Press the shoulder blade into the floor, look out towards that outstretched arm. Again, make sure you're not pulling at your lower back. The back does come off the floor here, but you're feeling stretch in the outer thigh and the buttock muscle. Bring the leg back, press the right foot on the left knee, keep the pelvis level, turn the knee out to the side. If you're not getting much of a stretch, then you can do a more advanced option. A couple of my ladies are doing here. You can see Christina and Nikki are doing a deeper stretch there. Good, and relax. Okay, feet back on the floor. Hands down by your sides. So we're just going to finish off with a bit of relaxation, using our Pilates breathing and just trying to relax all the muscles. So you need to find a position that you're comfortable in here. You can have your feet together, the knees together. You can drop the knees apart. You can stretch the legs out along the floor. Whatever feels comfortable for you. You can have the arms by the side of you, arms across your chest. Just find a position that you can relax in. Okay, now we're going to focus on our Pilates breathing. When we breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. When we breathe in, our rib cage is expanding sideways. Breathing out, our rib cage is closing. For the purposes of our relaxation, we're going to make those breaths a little bit deeper. So deep breath in through the nose, long slow breath out through the mouth. And just start to let all the muscles relax, particularly where you hold your tension. So it might be your neck, your shoulders, really let that go, lower back, and all the other muscles as well, let it relax and sink into the floor. Focus on that breathing, the breathing in itself, focusing on that is relaxing. So deep breath in through the nose, longer, slower breath out through the mouth. Deep breath in through the nose, long, slow breath out through the mouth. 2 or 3 minutes. It's up to you really. Okay, thank you. That's the end of the relaxation.